With head coach Ray Bechard, the Big 12 Coach of the Year again. Congratulations. There's a whole list of awards, and we'll get to it in a minute. But the big trophy, the Big 12 championship, which you clinched a share of, but you go down to Baylor and you win it outright. The meaning of that for you in the team?
That was really important for our team and our program because you can go around from venue to venue, and Texas could have had a Big 12 banner hanging up, and we could have had one now. Mm-hmm. The Jayhawks are only one that get to hang one up, and to do it in the style that the Big 12, the format does it, where you have to play everybody twice, which is unique in the Power 5 conferences, and to win 15 of those matches out of 16 is an outstanding regular season, and something that our team should be very proud of.
And to be the sole champion of the Big 12, we've just seen it even as before we're taping this interview, basketball coaches, other coaches come by and congratulate you on being the Big 12 champs. You are the undisputed Big 12 champion, and that means something, doesn't it?
Well, it does, and it's not something our program's accomplished, and we've been knocking on the door with a lot of second place finishes, but this team was able to get it done. Now, we labored down the stretch a little bit. 5 of our last 7 matches went to 5 sets, and I think that was a little bit of a response to the kids wanting that outright Big 12 championship so bad. They probably put a little bit of undue pressure on themselves, but also I think it's a response to the quality of the Big 12 and the number of good teams in the Big 12, which is pointed out by 6 of those advancing on to the NCAA Tournament.
You look at the list of awards, the Big 12 Player of the Year in Kelsey Payne, the Setter of the Year in Anise Havili, the Libero of the Year in Cassie Wait, Coach of the Year yourself. Taylor Susie was already the Sports Person of the Year in the Big 12. It has been a banner year for Kansas volleyball.
Yeah, some people come by and ask, did anybody else play or did anybody else get? I said, we can't vote for our own players. And Cassie Wait was unanimous, which was really cool. Payne obviously had a great year in Havili, even though she wasn't at the top of the category in assists per set or our team in hitting percentage. I think everybody respects the competitor that she is and how she carries our team. And Jada Burst was on the all-freshman team, and Susie's second team. Rigdon also a first-team member. And, I think Susie might have got slided a little bit, but it's difficult when you already have 4 on the first team, but she's going to lead the Big 12 in blocking again and has done an outstanding job for us. So, yeah, I don't know that you could be more dominant in the awards and in what we were. But now I think it's time to close the chapter on that and be ready for the next one.
The new chapter really began on Sunday night as you watched the selection show and you become the number 5 seed. You get the automatic bid, the highest seed this program has ever had. What did that mean? What was the reaction like of the team when you find out?
Well, it was a little bit subdued in that I think our team was really, really hoping for a top 4 seed. And I think we were in the conversation for that. But a 5 seed obviously represents a great body of work and a great year. And what was really cool about it, Leaf, is we went in knowing that we were an automatic qualifier for the first time because we were the outright Big 12 champion, even though we knew we were probably going to be in regardless. But it was a great night for our team to kind of respond to all the matchups they saw. When Baylor came up, our team was excited, and when TCU came up, so they were excited about all the Big 12 teams that got mentioned, and it was interesting seeing the different matchups and seeing who we were going to play.
In some ways, does it work out better as a coach in that you get the highest seed in program history, you can celebrate, but there's still just a little bit of a chip there, something you can play after, maybe a feeling of not getting your total due out of the selection?
Yeah, I mean, we could spin it that way, I think, but I think the 5 seed was fair. Our players maybe feel a little bit jilted by that, but I think there's a lot of teams get sense that or feel that way. I mean, here's Creighton's won 20 matches in a row, got a great RPI, and they're not hosting, which I think they probably have a little chip on their shoulder. And there's teams that thought they might get in and didn't even get in. So it's quite an honor just to play in this event and to represent our athletic department in the NCAA tournament.
You get to host inside Horish, and you start with Samford, maybe a team that you haven't seen, but you are familiar with the Southern Conference. Does the style of play match a conference per se, or does that help you at all as you prepare because you saw Furman last year?
Yeah, Furman was a little bit, I think, smaller and played faster, whereas Samford's got some physical kids, Big 12 level attackers, and their record's deceiving because they got off to a slow start and played a very tough schedule. But they've been very hot as of late, and they hosted their post-conference tournament and have played extremely well. Beat the number 1 seed 3-0, and then beat Chattanooga, a good team, 3-1. So we got teams coming in here in Sanford, in Northern Iowa, and Creighton, who are playing their very best volleyball at this time of year.
You mentioned the other 2 teams coming in. Creighton could be as hot as any team in the country. You mentioned winning 20 in a row. You've seen both of those 2 teams. Northern Iowa was maybe not at full strength when you played them, but you do have some familiarity with both the other 2 teams that are coming to.
Yeah, and I think both those teams are very different, and we hope the Jayhawks are too, because I don't think Jada Burst played against either of those teams, and we were still evolving with Zoe and Kayla Cheadle at that position. So I'm sure Northern Iowa, Creighton will be much better than they were early in the year, but we feel like the Jayhawks will be too.
Do you have a message to your team as you start? You talk about kind of closing that chapter on a fantastic regular season and going now into the postseason. Do you make that differentiation with your team that, okay, now this is a new season and we're starting over, or are you trying to continue what you?
Yeah, we focus on our two-a-days, we focus on our pre-conference, then we really get serious about conference and now postseason. And there was a lot of weeks in conference where we talked about we need to go 2-0 this week. And that's what we're talking about this week. We need to figure out a way somehow to go 2-0 so we can extend our season. And the urgency obviously now is that if you don't do that, the season's over. And I know this team wants to fight and play deep into December.
The fact that you made it to the Final Four last year, does that experience with most of those players coming back give you an advantage into knowing what to expect, what it takes to get there, what you have to do in this postseason?
Well, I think they know the honor that was afforded to them by making that, and how much pride they felt in representing our university and our athletic program. So that feeling's there, and I know they want to go back to that. But I think they also know how hard it was, in the fact that we had to play some good teams here at home and go to San Diego and play some great teams. So got to be playing your very best volleyball. You got to work as hard as you can and hope that you get some good results.
Coach, it's going to be an exciting postseason. Thank you very
Should
much.
be. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.